All right, do we have everybody out there ready to roll? This is a live stream edition of my YouTube page. Start firing questions in at me, and I will answer as many of them as I can. So welcome in. I'm David Kaplan, and this is our YouTube page, and I thank you for subscribing. So fire away, and let's get some questions in here, and I'd be glad to answer as many as you all want to fire at me over the next 30 or 40 minutes. So let's rock and roll. Fire in the questions, and let's go. Again, we've got White Sox off today. There's Jack saying, hey, Cap, what's up? Hey, Jack, how are you, man? You got a question for me? Fire in your questions, and I will be glad to answer you. Ask me anything, in sports, of course. My wife wouldn't like the rest of the stuff. Cap, how excited am I to co-host with Sylvie? I'm looking forward to it. Go out my front door right over here, go around the bend. Sylvie lives right there. So, yeah, looking forward to it. It should be fun. We have varying opinions on different things in sports, but it should be fun. Cap, you get a gold star for the scenery in the latest videos. Yep, I have a house up in Wisconsin, so we were up there. Another one, excited for Sylvie. Yes, I am looking forward to it. I'm sure we'll spar. I'm sure we'll argue. Is there any way Wilson Contreras gets extended? Doesn't make sense for them to trade him. And could we get something for Wisdom or Schwindel? Let me start with the Wilson Contreras, and hello, Leroy from Lake Geneva. I don't understand how they're not signing Wilson Contreras. I don't get it. It makes no sense to me. The guy absolutely can be a DH and a catcher. You can use him at both spots. He's a great leader. He's a great dude. I have a special needs son, and Wilson has a special place in my heart. He has been incredibly good to my son, Brett. And I just find him to be the nicest guy in the world and a hell of a baseball player and a great leader in that room. The other question, no, you're not getting anything for Wisdom and Schwindel. Absolutely nothing. Cubs are playing better tonight. They're winning 7-3. Ian Happ had one caught at the wall. I mean, a great catch by Nick Senzel. Then he doubled off the wall. Now he just hit a 3-run home run. This dude went to the University of Cincinnati, and he obviously loves playing against the Reds. Let's see. Does Justin Fields break out this year even with the lack of help? I think you're going to see a better version of Justin Fields. I do. I just don't think the team's going to be very good. It's tough to win games when you don't have enough weapons. But I love him. Who did I have winning the NBA championship? I thought it was Bucks and Suns meeting in the finals, so it shows you what I know. Killed all my championship parlays. I would tell you this. I have something I play. I've got 5 or 6 of them still going, called Championship Parlays. I'll explain those. Jack, yes, I'm still coasting with Jay Hood. He's on vacation this week. The Championship Parlays, I pick a champion in each sport. College football, Major League Baseball, NHL, NBA, and NFL. And I buy a ticket with all of them in there of who I think is going to win it. And they pay insane money. Insane money. Don't forget, we're giving away a TV on the YouTube channel. When we hit 5,000 subscribers, we're at 2,000 now. When we get to 5,000, and we've done this in 3 weeks, we've gotten 2,000 of you fine people to subscribe. And as it starts to get out there, we hit 5,000. Apt Electronics, ABT in Glenview, is going to give away a 70-inch TV, and they'll deliver it to your house. They'll have it brought right to your front door. We'll also give away 2 $100 gift cards for you to have dinner at Lou Malnati's. So there's 3 cool prizes, and we'll pick one name randomly from the 5,000 that will be in the hopper. We have a random name generator. Bam, there it is. You win the TV. And we'll do it again at 10,000. Jack wants to know, can the Cubs compete next year? Depends what they do in free agency. That is the whole key. If you tell me that Aaron Judge is available and they are involved and they get him, or Carlos Correa, and they bring up Caleb Killian, and they get a couple guys out of their system to help, yes, they can be competitive in a bad division. Hello from Houston. Thoughts on Zach leaving Chicago? I've gone back and forth on this till we had LeVar Ball on the channel here last week, and he said, quote, he's gone. He doesn't want to play second fiddle to DeMar. We're going to find out. Frank says, Team Cap. I appreciate you, Frank. Leroy says, do you like the the Tampa 2 style defense? Yes, I do, because it was successful here before with Lovie Smith. I just don't know if we have the personnel to be really good defensively. They've gotten a lot of their front seven out the door, from Eddie Goldman to Akeem Hicks to Khalil Mack to Danny Trevathan. They just don't have much up front right now. I think it's just going to take time. There's no scheme. You watch the Kentucky Derby and the Preakness, you never see the jockey carry the horse across the finish line. It's the other way around, unfortunately. 312-332-3776 is the phone number to the radio show. I hope you'll call there. I hope you'll watch Unfiltered on NBC Sports Chicago. And I would think you are not enjoying the basketball game, because the last I checked, it was 17-1 Boston. 17-1. Greetings from Munich, Germany. Love that. Going international. Jacob says, love the channel. Look forward to seeing the videos every day. Jacob, post that again. It was so long, I couldn't read all of it.
Of the Chicago sports teams, which team is your biggest loser and biggest winner in either this year or 2021 season?
Winner or loser? Okay, the biggest loser is where the Blackhawks are at. I mean, it's embarrassing that you're at the pinnacle, winning 3 cups, should have won 4, lost that game in overtime to the Kings in 2014, and now you're this bad? Full rebuild? Not good. Diehard Bears fan from Hoboken, New Jersey. Frank, what does the perfect Bulls offseason look like, says BL? Trades, free agency, draft. Draft, you would get a shooter. I don't know who's going to be there at 18. There's another name that I think is going to be available that you could get as a veteran shooter, Doug McDermott, a guy the Bulls used to have. You've got to have more than one. You've got to get at least 2 guys that can shoot the basketball. Got to be able to have 2 shooters that take the heat off DeMar, and if Zach's here. If Zach is not here, you can't just let him walk out the door. You've got to be able to trade this dude in a sign and trade and get something back, because it doesn't do a lot for your cap. You're going over the cap to sign him. So if he's gone and just walks out the door, how you replacing 25 points a game and a guy who has a lot of time with the ball in his hands as a facilitator? When do you think the Cubs can compete for the World Series title? I'm in Terre Haute, Indiana. By the way, Jason, I love Terre Haute. I get down there to do games at Indiana State. I think 2025, 2026, you're looking for a team that you could legitimately say can contend for a World Series. Again, no one saw the 05 White Sox coming. Those things will happen and shock you at times, but they have a lot of good prospects in their system. It's going to take time to get all of them here. Somebody just put up a comment, I didn't see who, Aaron Judge to the White Sox. That is never going to happen. And if I was the owner, I'd sign him in a second. If I'm the owner of the Cubs, that's the guy I'm going to get. You own your own TV channel. Your ratings are terrible. Aaron Judge in left field, Seiya Suzuki, who's going to be a really good player, in right, Brennan Davis, Ian Happ Manning center. Yeah. Now all of a sudden it's must-watch TV. If Justin Fields has a similar season as last year, same stat line, do I think Poles would move on and look at Bryce Young or C.J. Stroud? It's not going to be numbers as much as does he have command of the offense? How does he look under center? Does he look like he's in control? He doesn't have that much help, and he doesn't have a great offensive line, so I'm not expecting a ton. But they claim that they're all in. Am I still friends with Dan Dockich? You love when I come on his show. Yes, Dan is a dear friend. I just talked to him the other day. I absolutely I'm a huge fan of Danny's. Can the Cubs come back to NBC Sports Chicago? Well, maybe when this contract's up, there's the 2022 season and the 2023 season and the 2024 season. So you've got 2 more seasons after this that they're locked up with Marquee, and then we'll see. Eric says Cap's afraid of Sylvie. No, there's nothing I'm afraid of. Nothing. Looking forward to working with him. How does Ricketts show his face at Wrigley? He should be booed out of his seat. Look, I have a different perspective. They weren't going to win with Rizzo and Baez and Bryant. I had no problem they traded all those dudes. My problem is that they're not spending any money right now. Your payroll should never, ever be 15th in Major League Baseball when you own the Chicago Cubs. Now, does Jed have a bigger budget and didn't spend it? That's the question somebody's got to investigate. When Lance Lynn comes back to the Sox, have the best rotation in baseball. Yankees have a really good rotation. I got to see if Lance Lynn is healthy. But if he is healthy, boy, 1 through 4, they are going to be really, really tough to beat. Kopech looks amazing. Dylan Cease got a chance to win the Cy Young. Lance Lynn, Lucas Giolito, that's a pretty damn good rotation. Will we ever see me on First Take and take Stephen A. Smith to school? If they ask, I'd absolutely give him a little shot at it. That'd be a lot of fun to go up against the GOAT. So that's what Stephen A. is. That's why he's making what he's making. Any chance the Cubs sign a major free agent this offseason? Yes, absolutely. I think they're going to be in there if Correa opts out. And I think they are going to take a run at Aaron Judge if, and only if, the Yankees decide they're not going to pay him what he wants. For some reason, they couldn't get a deal done with him. He says he's going to free agency. If that's true, if he's truly willing to leave, all in. This is an entertainment business. Entertainment business. He entertains wildly. Other than Chicago, which baseball stadium is my favorite to go watch a game in? That's a great question. My son and I have gone to a bunch of them. I would say probably Fenway. We sat on the monster seats the year before the pandemic in 19. My son and I, we had a blast. Bears truly drafting best player available. That's exactly what they did. They took the best guy on their board. They got holes everywhere. Why would you go, I got to get a receiver. He's only here on my board. There's a safety or a corner there on my board, and you need him. Do I think Marquee will add a second team like the Bulls or the Blackhawks? Well, Jerry Reinsdorf and Rocky Wirtz have ownership stake in NBC Sports Chicago, and they usually are in lockstep. I don't see any scenario on this deal. No. Maybe in 3 years when this deal's up, you got the 22-23 season, 23-24 season. You have 2 more years for hockey and basketball. Then all bets are off. We'll see what ends up happening, where they end up going. What is your top 3 sports interviews, the top 3 you wish went better? Wow, that's a really good question. Top 3 I've ever done. I got to interview Michael Jordan. That was amazing. Johnny Cochran, may he rest in peace, O.J. Simpson's attorney, was probably my favorite interview that I ever did. That interview was unbelievable. It was 2 weeks after the verdict. My late father was still alive at that point, and he was a criminal defense attorney. He prepared me for 2 days for that interview, and it was absolutely amazing to have that opportunity. Velas Debo Jr. going to be a late round fantasy steal. I'm not sure where Velus Jones is going to be this year. They just don't have a lot of help for him. I hope he's a really good player. I hope Ryan Poles hit a home run grabbing that dude in the third round. My dog Stanley right here wants a little attention. Let's go. Keep firing. Stanley, you got to stop, bud. You got to stop barking. Do you think the Sox will make any moves at the trade deadline? Well, the reason they haven't done anything yet is you don't see any activity going on. Well, I work at Marquee. We'll get to that in a second. You don't see activity in Major League Baseball yet because if you start trading your dudes away in May, how are you supposed to sell tickets for the rest of the season? Even if you're in a market where your team is, up the track some. I just don't see a scenario, and they're going to try to extort you if you make a trade now in terms of how much payroll you have to take and what you have to give up. There's 2 big problems there. So I think you'll see them add on. Let's see what the injuries play. Is Lance Lynn coming back healthy? When we get to July, let's see who's healthy and who's not. And then we'll figure out what their needs are. You never know. You can let them out if you want. So that's where that stands. Will I ever work at Marquee? Look, I work at NBC Sports Chicago, and I love working there. I've worked there for almost 15 years. My dearest friends work there. I love working at NBC Sports Chicago. I love hosting Unfiltered. And you never know what the future is anywhere. I don't know if our network will be around in 3 years. I don't know if the Cubs will start another new network. I have no idea. I can just tell you, I love it at NBC Sports Chicago. Who's next? Fire away. And please tell your friends to subscribe to our YouTube page, because when we hit 5,000 subscribers, we're at 2,000 now. The faster we get to 5,000, the faster I'm giving away a 70-inch TV from our great partners at ABT. All you have to do is send an email to ReKap, ReKap, at thecapman.com. ReKap at thecapman.com. We have a random name generator. We'll pluck a name and you will win a 70-inch TV from the great people at Apt Electronics. When we get to 10,000, we'll do it again. Who has the better broadcast crew, Cubs or White Sox? Look, you're asking me for something I'm biased to. Steve Stone's a dear friend of mine, as is Jason Benetti. I think they're both good broadcasts, but if I had to go with one, I think Stoney's the best baseball analyst we've had in town in my lifetime. I think he's awesome. My favorite tattoo. Well, this one right here is my favorite. It says, tune out the metote. The metote are what the ancient Toltecs say are the 1,000 voices in your head. You shouldn't date her. You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't chase your dream. You should be a conformist. I will never be a conformist, ever. I will never conform. So that's probably my favorite tattoo, with the sun and the sun setting and all of it. City of Chicago. Shark, because that's what I am. Sharks never even stop moving when they sleep. And then Pura Vida right there. Pure life. That's life down in Costa Rica when I was down there. So that's how I choose to live my life. Let's see. Will Cubs make playoffs in 3 years? I will say yes, Jeff. Yes, they will be there within 3 years. Doesn't mean a lot unless you do something with it. Top 3 Bears that will never be in the Hall of Fame that should be. Well, right now, it's Peanut Tillman, Olin Kreutz, and Lance Briggs. Those 3 dudes all belong in the Hall of Fame. Will they get there? I hope so. Can the Bulls win a title with Zach LaVine if they give him the max? That all depends on Patrick Williams' development. Vucevic, who battled COVID this year and had some injury issues, he's got to be healthy and he's got to play better. And then they've got to draft and develop. Their player development has not been good since Tibbs left. Let's see. Jack, how much do I bench? Come on, man. You got an older guy here. I did 235 2 weeks ago. That's it. In your recaps, it's such a beautiful view. Where does that come from? Is that the question? That's up on Lake Winnebago in Wisconsin. Favorite catchphrase from Stacey King? I mean, I love "Give me the hot sauce." When Derek was here, it was, Derek Rose can jump. Derek Rose can go higher. What are you doing, Dragic? There were so many great ones. What happened with Olin Kreutz and Adam Hogue? Your guess is as good as mine. I'm friends with both guys. I like both guys very much. I'm very close with Olin. I think he's a good dude, man. That's all I can tell you. Who else? Fire some more in here. And please tell your friends to subscribe to the YouTube page. Get your name in and then shoot us that email. You send the email to ReKap, ReKap, at thecapman.com. You'll be entered to win a 70-inch big screen TV. Best relationship advice. I got great relationship advice. You're talking to a dude who got divorced, swore he'd never get remarried, did to the greatest woman in the world, and will be married 18 years and together 23 in June. And I created this concept called the I love you present. The I love you present is this. The I love you present is bringing something home. It could be as small as a candy bar. It could be whatever. I don't know, if you're a multimillionaire, you can go buy him a Ferrari. But it's just something that says, hey, I was thinking of you today. And it's never sending flowers on Valentine's Day or on their birthday or on the anniversary, because that's really, really trite. That everybody does that. It's when they least expect it. Middle of August. I don't have my wife's birthday isn't in August. Our anniversary's not in August. A dozen roses show up at her office. Middle of November. Middle of February. When she least expects something, I do something to say, I'm thinking of you. That's the best relationship advice I can give you. Let's see. Coffee order, make JR pay tomorrow. JR is a cheap human being. He has never bought me a cup of coffee, ever. And when I go to Starbucks, I always ask, hey, JR, you want a cup of coffee? He is a coffee freak. My coffee order, I'll take the Pike with a little bit of heavy cream, and that's it. Sup, Cap? Glad to see you being the man in the arena. I appreciate you, Matt. I love talking with people. I love interacting like this. We're going to try and do this at least twice a month, if not every single week. How is Brad Underwood getting all this talent? Is it NIL? Brad Underwood is a great recruiter. I've known Brad since 1992, I believe was the year, when he was the assistant coach at Western Illinois. And he would come to town, stay in a cheap hotel. We'd go to lunch. I love that dude. That guy can coach. Al, how many TDs will Mitch Trubisky have this season? Oh, why don't we say 24. 24 touchdowns, and he will play better than he did here for the Bears and Matt Nagy. I'm not telling you he's going to be a superstar, but I think he'll throw 24. When you think the Cubs could be a threat again, I already answered that one. Are the Twins real competition for the Sox? Yeah, you're damn right. They got that jackass Josh Donaldson out of their clubhouse. They've got Carlos Correa. They got Sonny Gray. And they still have payroll flexibility from what I'm hearing. So I think they're going to be a thorn in the White Sox side all season long. I'll never forget the Emergency Cubs Talk podcast after we lost to the Phillies. I don't remember that one. Thoughts on the Cubs' 2004 collapse? The most unlikable Cubs team I ever dealt with. Awful. What makes a good recruiter for a college coach? It's being able to connect with people, whether they're, people in the inner city, people out in the suburbs, people out in a small town, whether it's the people at the AAU level, the people at the high school level. You got to be able to connect with everybody. That's the key to being a good recruiter and knowing who the contact person is on a kid. He might be best friends with the student manager. He might be best friends with some kid who's a biology student and has nothing to do with athletics. You got to find out who's his guy, and then you got to get to that guy. Passing yards, says Frank, for Justin Fields. I would probably tell you he's going to be somewhere 3,200. Does not have enough weapons and a good enough offensive line. That's the problem. Thoughts on Roquan's best spot in our D? Weak side linebacker. This guy can fly. He doesn't have to deal with the tight end. This guy's a beast. He's a great football player. He'll be in the Hall of Fame someday. Do I watch European football? So I flew to England with one son. We have four. One of our sons and my wife. And we went to see Manchester United host Chelsea. Man U won 2-1. And it was one of the coolest experiences of my life. I was not a soccer guy. And all of a sudden, my son he was a college football player, American football, and then said, I want to go see this match over there. That's all I want for the next 10 Christmases and Hanukkahs because we have a mixed marriage. And we went. It's amazing. Like, we think Cubs Sox, Cubs Cardinals, Bears Packers is big. It's nothing like it is over there. Robert Smith, he says they've done such a great job at Illinois in their recruiting. Yes, they have, because Brad Underwood knows how to get things done. Who else? What else do we have? Let's get a few more in here before we wrap this up. Again, please Ask your friends to subscribe to our YouTube page. When we hit 5,000, random name generator, we are going to get it done with giving away a 70-inch TV to one lucky subscriber. 70-inch. Send an email to ReKap at thecapman.com, and we'll pull one name when we hit 5,000. You'll win a 70-inch TV, and then we'll give away 2 $100 Lou Malnati's gift cards. We get to 10,000, we will do it again. Somebody asked, did I ever have hair? Did I ever have hair? I used to have hair to my shoulders. You can go on the internet and find those pictures. Come on, you're better than that. Yes, I had long ass hair. And then it started to thin, and I walked in the door one night, and my wife, this wife, not the first one, said, hey, honey, I stayed up. We have to have a serious talk. What would that serious talk be? Please, don't tell me I'm getting divorced again. Oh, no, I love you. I'll be with you for as long as I'm alive. Your hair's horrible. It's horrible. What are you trying to do? Grow grass up there? And she had a clipper she had bought at Walgreens. Buzz my head. The rest is history. This is me. What is my least favorite pro sports team? The Green Bay Packers or the St. Louis Cardinals. Can't stand either of them. Can't stand either of them. Yeah, no shot on those two. And it'd be Notre Dame football. I don't care about Notre Dame basketball. I like Mike Bray. He's a good dude I've known a long time. Football? Notre Dame. I hope they never score again. Do you think the Reds versus Cubs Field of Dreams will be good? Look, I don't think you can screw up the Field of Dreams. But, yeah, it's not very good teams. Great interview at LeVar Ball. Any chance we sign Jello Ball? I don't know. Leangelo, he's a G League player right now. He can shoot the ball. I would think he's going to go to camp with someone. Why not here? Who's the Big Ten basketball favorite? I haven't checked all the recruiting yet, all the transfers. So this year I was on Michigan. It turned out Purdue was the best team, or Illinois. Favorite sports city other than Chicago? Well, probably New York because my late mom is from there. Boston, Philly, New York, Chicago, and Cleveland. Those are the main markets, I think, where sports are religion. So, anyway, we're going to wrap up this edition of our live stream recap. We're going to do this again next week. Please enter ReKap at thecapman.com. ReKap at thecapman.com, and we will get your name registered. Please hit that subscribe button. And if you are chosen by our random name generator, you will win a 70-inch TV from the great people at Apt Electronics in Glenview, or you could win a gift card to have dinner, courtesy of the great people at Lou Malnati's, two of our legacy partners here on this brand new channel. So please tell your friends to subscribe. Let's get it to 5,000. We'll give the TV away, and then onward and upward. I appreciate you being here tonight. We'll check in again with a recap of this Cubs game when it goes final, and then the White Sox and the Cubs tomorrow. I'll have recaps again. We do it every single day. Appreciate you. Talk to you in the morning on ESPN 1000 at 7.